All right, we are here at S&H Waterproofing. I'm here with two very important gentlemen. I'm going to let these gentlemen introduce themselves at this time.
My name is Coy Martin, and I'm the residential sales manager.
My name's Robert Sadler, and I'm the owner of the company here.
Gotcha. What is the history here at S&H Waterproofing, and how and where did you guys start?
Well, way back when, we've been in business over 20 years. So back in 2003, we began a journey on learning how to waterproof. So became certified with two different waterproofing manufacturers, and so got our training through that and began waterproofing for people. And we have boardwalk companies, block masons for contractors and things that we did waterproofing for. We also provided leak repairs, so that also helped in understanding why basements leak and also why they need waterproofing. So essentially, we really just worked hard to be the best at what we did. We chose very wisely on the manufacturers that we wanted to use and be partnered with, and that's all led to great things.
And when you joined the team, how did that come about?
So I came on right at 2 years ago. I actually left AT&T. Robert convinced me to leave my, I guess you could say, cushy job to go and crawl houses. And, I don't like spiders. I don't like small spaces, both of which I've kind of had to overcome that fear. But I think I'm doing all right now, 2 years in. So just saw the kind of man he is, and I'm able to witness it every day. So it's definitely kept me here and kept me happy.
Since you've been here, what's your journey been like personally here with the company?
Well, the hardest thing is just, I come from not having a construction background. That was something I actually brought up to Robert, I think, during I guess you could call it an interview. Just basically told him, like, hey, you can go out there and find somebody that has a construction background. Almost talked myself out of the job. I wanted it, but I wanted what was best for him too. I didn't want to advise him wrong. So he saw the potential in me and brought me on, and I've been able to learn pretty quickly. I'm still learning, but areas that he feels comfortable in, I've been sent out on those jobs to look at them, and I think I've done a pretty good job so far. So,
same kind of question for you. What's your journey been like timeline since the company started from a company standpoint, like some of the accomplishments and the growth and things like that?
So some
Hold that up just a little bit.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. So some things have been good. Obviously, others bad. When you grow at the pace we grew, we began this company back in 2003. We've had a lot of highs and lows. One of the lows obviously happened in 2008 in the housing crash. That really created a lot of complexity. The good thing is that the Lord was good to me, and He provided me with work, and we actually never missed a lick during that time. But at the same time, we had to grow as a company of how effective we were with time management and job management, just because of the complexity of the economic doom that was kind of plaguing this country. So we were able to get through that very unscathed. We were, I didn't have to lay anybody off. So I always want to make sure that the guys that I have here, I try to provide them work in any way I can, and that's why I work diligently to make sure that it's not my fault if we fall into a slump. So, but we continue to grow. Our commercial, grew a lot. Our residential continued to grow, mostly referral based. We didn't do any advertising, and so I was kind of a one-man show for a long time, and then I began to add some employees with me to kind of help me on the management team, and that's where Coy and some other guys that I have here that's been phenomenal for the company, that has helped us really grow tremendously over the last 4 or 5 years. So some of these guys have come on as of late, but it's definitely been an interesting journey if you look back as to where we were, our previous location from here. It's had some very challenging moments, but we've persevered, and the main thing is that that's kept us in business is that ultimately we do quality work. So if we wasn't good at anything else, that's what we were good at, is going out and making sure that we fixed the problem that we were there to fix, and we also solved why they had the issue. So obviously that creates long-term results for a customer, and naturally they're going to refer you to neighbors and friends because they not only got resolution at that time, but they also have longevity in the repair. So that's what we really focused on. So there was a lot of aspects as far as running a business that I had a lot of challenges with because I don't have a business degree. I'm just a self-made guy that started doing work. I'm an operations guy. I know how to get work done, but I don't know how to manage it from the top. So I've had a lot of growing that I've had to do to kind of learn how to run it from the top. I've got guys with me now that they're data driven. They want to see the numbers and where we are and how and where what they need to do to reach certain goals. So obviously we're operating at a much different level now, and we still have a lot of growth that we need to do.
Coy, you've seen a part of this growth from your standpoint. How's it been like in the 2 years you've been here?
Well, so when I first got here, it's something I even tell our customers a lot. When I got here, Robert didn't even have business cards. I told him, I said, well, we've got to get those. I asked him what our marketing budget was, and it was zero. So we've had to make some changes. We've had a lot of competitors come into our area.
A lot of them's national guys, but you guys are more the local feel, which is what people like.
Correct. Yeah, a lot of these companies are operating in multi-state. And so, obviously when they come out, they're trying to sell you everything, including the kitchen sink. They're also having to factor in travel. A lot of cases, hotel stays. A lot of this work that we perform takes multiple days to do. So all that's going into their proposal. But a lot of people around here are still opting to go with them because even though we're right in the backyard, they're not aware of us. So
we're going to help with that
for sure. I definitely believe that. I know we've tried to put more focus on our Facebook page. We've just had a big website rework done, so that should be going live hopefully in the next week or so. Right now, the one we have is more commercial based, but we want people around here to know, yes, we do these big $multi-million vapor mitigation systems, for Home Depots and Starbucks and Chick-fil-A's, but we also work on grandma's plumbing issues down the street or whatever she may have going on down there.
Yeah, because both of them have needs, whether it be Starbucks or grandma's. They both have the same needs.
Yes, sir.
Company values, in your opinion, what would you say those are?
Well, kind of to build on what Robert said earlier, it's coming in and actually doing things right, being honest. There's been times, I think we had spoken about this earlier, where I've gone out on jobs and some of those bigger companies like we had talked about had recommended doing all this work and come to find out that that it wasn't necessary. And there were a lot of windows open, I know for me personally, where I could have said, hey, we don't need to do all that, but we can still do this, knowing in my heart that they didn't need any of it. So there's been a lot of jobs where I go out there and I literally come out, and it's something I tell customers, if I go under here and I don't find a problem, then that's exactly what I'm going to tell you when I leave there.
Absolutely.
But sometimes there are suggestions I'll make. Hey, if you guys are having, allergies year round and it's not just seasonal, you got some mold issues under there, even though it's not bad, it may be something we want to address, and something like a simple spray treatment or something like that could get that worked out for them. So, little recommendations like that.
Robert, same kind of question for you, but in a different tone here. When you are able to handle these needs for people here in your community, and you see you are benefiting people, like you said, someone may have allergies year round, may have mold problems, something like that. That's got to be a bit of satisfaction to be able to handle that right here in house and not have a national guy come in basically to your territory here and jack up prices and stuff. You are that calm, steady voice that can help these people, and they trust your name and your work.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of cases, you have customers that have a lot of anxiety over the issues that they're having. They get cracks in their sheetrock, they're having mold mildew problems, they're having water intrusion. So it creates a lot of anxiety because most people have no idea why these things are happening. So it's real easy for companies to come in and they really kind of take advantage of the fact that people just don't know, and they're scared. They feel like they're going to their house. I get more times where people's like, is my house going to fall in? Is my bedroom going to fall off the corner of the house or whatever? I mean, I really get some funny responses out of people, but I know that it comes from sincere concern and anxiety over the issue. And so many of these salesmen go out and they take advantage of that, and they sell additional fear in order to create the sale. And that way they can really, really hammer on, you got to have this, and this. And it's like, well, half of that you might, would benefit you. The other half is just a sales game.
Matter of fact,
So
even panic driven sometimes.
correct, and they come out with these tactics like they're wanting to sign, they're wanting them to sign that contract that day. It's like, hey, if you sign today, we'll give you an additional 10% off, and it's just and that's almost every job I hear that, and it's like, our approach is that I just go in and I explain not what's happening, but why it's happening, which makes the difference with the customer, and they always have this level of comfort. You can just see the kind of the peacefulness kind of come over them, that okay, I understand, and now that they've met me or met Coy, and I've trained Coy the same way, I'm like, look, we're not in here, we're not high pressure sales. We sell something if the customer needs it and then also wants it. So we don't just say, well, you just need, and therefore we can try to force a sale. Like, we also want to inform the customer why things are happening. And sometimes there's some things the customer can actually do on their own. And maybe we don't sell anything because the customer can fix it on their own. We can offer a suggestion. And so a lot of times we walk away and we actually didn't sell anything. But my approach wasn't necessarily to sell something. I'm not there to sell something. I'm there to help the customer. And if that means selling something and doing work for them, then that's great. If not, I've helped them. They're going to recommend me somebody that is going to need
So it's
help.
a true solution. It's not just a sales situation.
So, and one thing about Coy, and to brag on him, is the fact that he's picked up that very approach, and he's done it very well. And so I've talked to customers after he's left, and and some of them call me and inform me like, hey, we just love Coy because his approach, and they tell me his approach, and it's exactly what I taught him to do. Is that we're not here to sell, we're here to help. And that will produce the work that we're out here to do.
Makes sense. Coy, I'm going to ask you both the same closing question. We'll start with Coy. If you're a customer in and around this area, why choose you over the big guys, so to speak, or the people from out of state?
Well, obviously the type of work we do, especially a lot of it underneath the homes. I mean, we do stuff with, I think we talked about earlier, exterior drainage, and we offer services like that. But a lot of this stuff is under the home. It can get very expensive. And a lot of people, I mean, they do have a little bit of shock at first. We always try to prepare them, if they need to be prepared. It's just like he talked about. If it's not a big deal, I'll let the customer know, hey, I don't think what you have going on here is a big deal. But when it is, the biggest thing is price. Obviously, we're not cheap, but typically I'm the second or third guy. If it's not referral, which most of our jobs are, but if it's not referral based and I'm that second or third guy that comes out there, especially behind these bigger companies, price is always a big point. And so I'd say price, but I wouldn't put that at the forefront. I'd say the quality of work we do, we're not sacrificing that. Robert's always told me we're not here to get rich off of one job. It is about volume, and we're fortunate enough to, in some cases, be booked out a little ways. We've been fortunate. Customers have been patient with us and allowing us to get to their work, but that process has improved. I think you'd agree with that. We've increased our crew sizes, so that's something we've been able to take advantage of there. But I'd say money, obviously, and then the way that we do it, the way we address it, just the sheer honesty. We don't run away from problems. If you have a problem, we address it. I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people go silent. That's not the situation here. We'd love to promise that everything goes perfectly all the time, but anybody that tells you that, things happen, and delays happen. We run into rain and stuff like that, but we try to prepare the customer. So honesty. I think it all leads back to that. Just the way we operate and kind of set the expectations there, and we minimize surprises for the customer.
Robert, same question. Of course, we've touched on a ton of reasons why to choose you, but ultimately, in your words, what would you say?
Well, I feel like that a good reason to choose us would be because of our approach to the problem. So I feel like that people would be more comfortable if they choose us. They'll be more comfortable with us as far as the repair because of the approach that we took to land on what repair was needed. So it's a common sense repair. It's in most cases, not every case, but most cases, the customer is extremely educated by the time we're done on not just what's getting done, but why we're doing it. And therefore, they're a lot more comfortable. We hear that time after time after time again, where a customer will say, now that you've come, I fully understand, what's going on and why. And so therefore now the solution, they can, like, in a lot of cases, people can just see it in their mind that, hey, yes, this will work. And that's the biggest key, is that what we do works. And so occasionally, obviously, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. If anybody promises that, then they'll have to answer to somebody else on that deal. But of course, we make mistakes, but ultimately, if we make a mistake, we're going to be right there to remedy it. And so therefore, we warranty everything we do, and a warranty means that not necessarily the paper that something's written on. It's about, if we make a mistake, it doesn't mean we're not going to make a mistake, but if we do, that we'll fix it.
100%. Makes sense. Hey, and I appreciate everything you guys have done for us and outreach and spotlighting a lot of these high school athletes and coaches around this area through your advertisement. It's really shed some light on them and got them some exposure. So those parents and players and everyone's going to come right back to you guys, and that's how this thing works. And what you guys are doing here in these communities, several communities in and around this area, is phenomenal and much needed, because there is always a need for someone local right here to come in and help keep things running afloat, whether it be residential, commercial, whatever it is. And I also want to appreciate you guys letting Average Joe Sports Talk and TV 24 come in, have a great morning with you guys as well. So love the partnership we've got. We're going to continue growing it together. Thank you guys so much for sitting in with us for a few minutes.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.